score this afternoon. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chicago Bears. Mike Tirico and Gxlden with you. The All-Pro Chris Boswell with the honors. And off we go from Soldier Field. Cross the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. So here come the Bears and their quarterback for the second straight year. The #1 pick in the 2024 draft, it's Caleb Williams.
So although his rookie season didn't go exactly according to plan, the best thing that happened, Mike, was he started all 17 games. And I know there were some ups and some downs. He's got a new regime now, new stability, new head coach. And I think it's going to allow all of his physical talent we saw coming out of college that made Caleb Williams the #1 overall pick. I think it's going to let it shine. Because there is no question, when this guy is in the right system with the right play caller, he is as talented and as productive as any quarterback we've seen come out of the draft in the last couple years.
From the 31, here's second down and 3. They'll go again with Swift. And nothing doing there. Only back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be an early third down coming up.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the first down marker. And they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
3 plays in and a test. It's 3rd and 2. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. A gain of 16 on that pass play. First down, Chicago.
It's a gain of 16 yards. That's good for a Bears first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
And the D closes quickly. He's stopped after a gain of a yard. Patrick Queen, the linebacker. They're on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down. Another run here, another run by Swift. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10. Good for a Bears first down.
Bears first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense. I think every running back's dream is that he's going to run through a wide open hole and have breakaway touchdowns, but that's not necessarily the case very often in the NFL. So the backs that are the best are the ones that can get more yardage than maybe what's blocked for. And I think this is a nice physical gain here that they can continue to build off of as the game unfolds.
And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. First down, Chicago.
Let's give some love to the big guys up front here, Mike. The offensive line is looking good here early to start the game. Couple nice big explosive runs. Expect them to continue to lean on the big guys up front as the rest of this game unfolds.
They'll take this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
At the 16-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
shotgun. It's Williams. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. That's the four-time All-Pro T.J. Watt in there for a loss of 5 on the sack. And now it's third down.
That last sack is exactly why defensive coaches preach over and over. Just play the next down. Just continue to make them snap the ball again. You're one big defensive play from changing everything about this drive. And what once looked like a promising drive, following that sack, looks a little bit different now.
On third down, it's Williams. They're trying to set up the screen here to Swift.
Anytime you call a running back screen, the key is the relationship between the offensive line and the running back. They have to be in sync perfectly to set up the big play. That wasn't the case here on third down. He gets tackled short of the sticks.
On fourth down, it's Cairo Santos on for the Bears field goal. It'll be a 35-yard attempt. Santos' kick is good. And the Bears will take a 3-0 lead.
You know, they did a lot of good things on this opening drive, Mike. I know they stalled out once they got down there into the red zone. They're going to need to work on finishing some of these drives as this game moves along. But that's a good 3 points to start this game.
Cairo Santos.
3 points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. On the return, it's Williams. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Well, here come the Steelers, and that's the sight that looks odd, but people were looking to see after keeping us waiting all spring. Year 21 in the league for Aaron Rodgers, his first as the Steelers quarterback.
You know, it's just so funny to see a veteran, a first-ballot Hall of Famer like Aaron Rodgers, at the end of his career, really bounce around and look for that final place that he can make home to kind of go off into the sunset and put a final chapter on what's now a 21-year NFL career. So what are the expectations? I think around Pittsburgh, they expect him to be Aaron Rodgers. I think he's healthy. I think he's motivated. And when he can be out there every single week, there's very few guys who have played the quarterback position better over the history of the league than Aaron Rodgers.
Here comes 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Finding room at midfield. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. A gain there of 21. Good for a Steeler first down.
And that's a nice grab for his first catch of the game, Mike. And he's someone that the play caller has told us he wants to get him early touches, get him a feel for the game. Nice job there making that happen.
He'll go right back to Freiermuth. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. They go right back to him. This catch good for 11 and a first down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get them the ball, pick up the first down.
That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up second down. DK Metcalf was the intended target. And it'll lead to a second down. To the air once more, it's Rodgers. That's complete. Calvin Austin. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Here's a third down and 4. Rodgers going up top again. He'll take a shot. Looking for Wilson. That one broken up in the end zone. It's incomplete. What great work just to get those hands up there. And now it's fourth down.
I think he predetermined that third down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there. And that's really well done here, Mike. I mean, everything's in rhythm. A good snap, a good hold, and a good kick ties this game.
Field goals for both sides on their opening possessions. 3-3 as this one's kicked away. This one taken at the 7. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. The Bears offense going to take over now for the second time. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with first down. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. That one down the field, but it is incomplete. Darius Slay, Mr. Big Play, with his hands right around the ball again.
Solid rep there for this corner, Mike. I mean, to stay disciplined with his technique throughout the entire play. So often we see when the ball's put in the air, the defender can panic and they either get a pass interference or they misplay the ball. This time he times it perfectly and forces the incompletion.
And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line. A 19-yard pickup there. Good for a Bears first down.
This offense has to be thrilled, Mike, with the success they've had here on the ground in this opening quarter. Now as the rest of the game unfolds, everything in the game plan continues to open up.
He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at their 49-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Williams.
The pass on 2nd down. The tackle by Alex Highsmith. A loss of 13 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
Third and long. Williams. Gonna look deep, looking for more. And that is incomplete. He was looking to get it to DJ Moore. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey, guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
The Steelers offense ready for their second possession. They'll begin inside their own 15-yard line. So a lot of real estate to cover. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Rodgers. That's caught. It's Roman Wilson. And they're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 16 yards.
It's a gain of 16, and very quickly, a first down.
This is a really nice job of just finding a hole in coverage, Mike. And I used to say, hey, when you're open, stay open. That's the art of route running versus zone coverage. And It's a friendly target for the quarterback in space, and they're able to convert.
And he's able to take this for good yardage before sliding and hitting the deck to end the play.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
Here comes the jet sweep. And he's out of bounds, down inside the 35. They'll have the first down. It's a gain of 28.
So the challenge of these jet sweeps, Mike, is they happen so fast. Nowadays in these offenses, there's so much pre-snap motion that you don't know if the receiver's just going in regular motion or are they timing it up with the snap to give him the jet sweep. So when you don't get an early read, you see the leverage and the contain of the defense break down. And these receivers and the way they can run, they get out into space. They are a handful to track down. All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
Here's the former Memphis Tiger, Kenneth Gainwell. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up third down.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. Third and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
They'll run the sneak, and he's going to be brought down right on that yellow line with the official signal. He's got enough for the first down.
That's another Steelers first down.
I know it's early in this game, but in my mind, that's 4-down territory, and certainly now the coach doesn't have to make that decision. He keeps it on the ground on third and short, gets a fresh set of downs, and now they got to see if they can come away with some points.
They'll run. This is Jalen Warren. Crazy. He's taken down just shy of the 10. It's a gain of 10 yards. That's a Steeler first down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground. And I'll tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage. Mix in the runs with the pass. And if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs.
That one is caught in the back of the end zone. Roman Wilson. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Touchdown, Steelers.
Now remember back, Mike, their first drive, they had to settle for 3. So they definitely didn't want to have to do that again. So really solid drive from start to end, and they're finally able to cap it off with a touchdown.
Chris Boswell on for the point after. It's up and good. And the Steelers take a 10-3 lead.
Bears 3.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. On the return, it's Devin Duvernay. Whoa. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The Bears offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll start out first down and 10. This drive will begin with a run by Swift. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
At the 33-yard line. 1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 9. A play fake. Now Williams. Throw on the run is complete. Was brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
Brings up
There's no
3rd
more
and
efficient
4.
play in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game, and you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
3rd and short yardage, and here's Williams. That's complete. It's Odunze. And he is very close to the 1st down, but eyeball, he is shy of it. And they say it's 4th and inches.
I think in this field position, Mike, when 4th and short, I think you got to go for it. I think there's at least a conversation going on the sideline about whether you keep your offense on the field or send out your punt unit.
He'll try to run for it. And he's going to have the Bears' 1st down. They find a way to keep the drive going with the 4th down conversion.
Bears 1st down. 1st and 10 at the
4th and short,
48-yard line.
initially, you could tell he's just trying to get this ball out of his hand quickly, just enough to move the chains. Defense did a good job taking his reads away, so he turns into a runner, puts his head down, picks up the 1st down, and keeps this drive alive.
Williams going to look to throw it on 1st down. To the sideline, and what a catch, and what a great job to keep the feet alive. Inbounds as good as you can do it. A 1st catch for DJ, and a 1st down.
At the 35-yard line.
It's just so impressive to see how good these guys are, especially the veterans, Mike. They've been out there a long time, a lot of experience. They know exactly where they are on the sideline, not only to secure this catch, but to be able to toe tap and drag that 2nd foot. That's a big-time play by a big-time receiver.
A pickup there of 25 yards. 1st down, Chicago.
We spent so much time talking about arm strength, and while that certainly has a place in the conversation, look at the touch of this ball, Mike. It's a deep corner route. This ball needs to have the right pace, the right trajectory to not only get it over the 2nd-level defenders, but get that ball down into the hands of his target. He makes it look a lot easier than it actually is.
Williams pass. Complete to Luther Burden. A 6-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 5-yard line.
They'll put Loveland in motion. They'll try to throw again. Here's Williams. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down. Throwing again, Williams. And that is incomplete.
Incomplete.
You know, once he broke the pocket, Mike, I actually thought he was just going to call his own number and become a runner. I thought he had some green grass out in front of him to take it in, but he decides to put it in the air instead and falls incomplete.
On now, it's Cairo Santos for the field goal.
22-yard
This
attempt.
about as short as you can get. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Bears cut the lead to 4. It's 10-6.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Cairo Santos following the made field goal. Back out to kick this one away. To return is Kenneth Gainwell. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line.
At
Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They had that field goal on the opening drive, the touchdown last time they had it. 2 drives, 2 scores, and here's drive 3. First down for Aaron. He's got a man down the field. It's Austin. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
It's a gain of 29.
That pickup, good for 29 yards.
Steelers first down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Didn't take them long to get now to their opponent's side of the field. I like the idea of starting this drive with some explosive pass plays. That's going to open everything up, both underneath in the passing game and on the ground. So big play to get this drive off to a fast start.
A run out of the gun with Warren. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter in the books. 10-6 is the score. We're back to Soldier Field after this. The Steelers with the football to begin the second quarter from the 34-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's A-Rod as we are ready to get back underway. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
And the Steelers.
That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes. And there is a lot of room to operate.
Evan Byard, the veteran who's broken up a few passes in his day, gets to that one.
A bit of a risky throw here in the end zone, Mike, and those windows down here tight, they close so much faster in this part of the field. By the time he let it go, the defender was already in position and was able to make a play on the ball.
Play fake. It's Rodgers. That's to the end zone, but it is incomplete. Pat Fryermuth, the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd down.
You have to come down with those opportunities. You're not going to get your hands on the ball very often as a defensive player. And when you do, let alone in the end zone, those are plays you just have to make.
On 3rd down, Rodgers. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
And I think this is just a really good quarterback play. You understand you got 3 points in your pocket. Don't try to be a hero on 3rd down and make the perfect pass. Throw it away, and at the end, just come away with points on this drive.
On for the field goal, a 33-yard attempt.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Steelers will extend their lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Back out is Boswell following the field goal. He'll send this one away. Now return coming from the 7. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. DeAndre Swift and the Bears offense set for their next possession. They'll be looking to answer back. They trail 13-6 and start this one with 1st and 10. In motion, it's Odunze. Here's Williams on 1st and 10. Quick slam, caught by Burton. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 45-yard line. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive.
Great pre-snap identification by the quarterback, realizing that the blitz was coming and exactly where the soft spot in the defense would be. He's able to put that slant route right on the front shoulder pad of his receiver. Leads to a real nice run after catch and brings up first down.
And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
They'll go play action here with Williams. And he'll be stopped short of the first down. He's able to look it in and get forward for a pickup of about 8.
That quarterback called that play in the huddle. That ball was only going to one guy. He was the first read, the second read, and the check down, and it was called to perfection. They got the perfect look and led to a nice game.
They'll try to run for it. It's Swift. And he's got nowhere to go. That defensive front controlling the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up fourth down.
That's a heck of a stop by this defense early in this game, Mike, and it sets up a decision for the offense. You might be a little too far away to attempt a realistic field goal, but you might be a little too close to get anything out of the punt unit. I think I'm keeping the offense on. I'm trying to extend this drive, and I'm being aggressive here early.
They'll indeed go. It's Williams. And he's going to have the first down. Aggressive call there. That works out as they convert on fourth down.
And what really stands out about this drive is the ability of the quarterback to really spread the ball around to multiple targets and put so much pressure on the defense, deciding who do they want to account for, because no matter who they try to take away, the quarterback's doing a nice job of finding the open man.
And it'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. Good for a Bears first down.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
This time the slang becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the Steelers' 24-yard line.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll pitch it out here. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on 1st and 2nd down to gain positive yards. Stay on track, because you don't want to be in 3rd and pass too often in today's NFL.
Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete.
I really like the personnel adjustment by the defensive coordinator, Mike. They go dime coverage, so they're going to bring out 6 defensive backs, really play the pass and muddy it up with as many pass defenders as you can. Nowhere to go with the ball, and now we got to see, does the offensive coordinator, when he sees that dime package take the field, what answers does he have?
3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Bears will cut the lead down to 4.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
Santos following the made field goal. Back out to kick this one away. Here's Williams on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Steelers offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Rodgers now. And complete to his running back, Kenneth Gainwell. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
2nd and 5. To throw, it's Rodgers. Check this down to Gainwell out of the backfield. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
That's good for
We're starting to see this so often, Mike. The days of just having a running back who you're just going to turn around and hand it to, yes, that's still a critical part of NFL offensive football, but their ability to be used in the passing game. Just one more thing for the defense to have to defend. Make them go sideline to sideline, line of scrimmage to the end zone. Defend every blade of grass, and a really good running back goes a long way in doing that. This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They'll throw again. Here's Rodgers. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. Montez Sweat getting in to drop him. It's a loss of 6, and it's 3rd down.
When you can win so fast as an edge rusher, you put so much pressure on the quarterback to speed everything up. He can sense that pressure coming either from his front or back side. It either speeds up and leads to an errant throw, or in this case, it leads to a sack.
3rd, they need 8. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. Now he'll air one out. And he can't hang on. It is incomplete. A chance there, a big chance for a huge play, but he couldn't reel it in.
It just seems like the offense gets in their own way, and whether it's a penalty or a drop or whatever the case may be, it's these self-inflicted wounds. They've got to stop if this unit ever wants to reach their full potential.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Bears offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Will manage to get 2, maybe 3 on that carry. Patrick Queen, the linebacker. They're on the tackle.
3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
From the 23, here's 2nd down and 7. From the shotgun, it's Williams. And he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 4, but now it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
He gets this complete to Burden. And he is out of bounds at the 45. A gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Chicago.
This is quarterback play at its finest, is understanding and identifying the blitz before the ball is snapped. That's what allows him to get the ball out of his hand so quickly, throws it to his hot receiver in the flat, and he does the rest.
throw. It's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 11. And they'll move the chains with another first down.
Throwing with anticipation, it not only requires the confidence in both your accuracy and the timing, but it also forces the receiver to be on time and where the quarterback expects you to be. And this is one of those examples, man. When those two things are on point, it results in a first down.
At the 44-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 9. On the gig, here's Swift. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Anytime you run a draw, you're hoping the linebacker reads pass and starts dropping into his pass coverage. That's what creates space for your running back to get going. Well, not this time. The linebacker saw it from the jump. He's able to penetrate in the backfield and take the runner down for a loss.
On 3rd down, it's Williams. And they're going to get to him and take him down, take him back to the other side of midfield.
What a first half for this pass rush, huh, Mike? I mean, they have just completely dominated this game. They are in complete control, and you have to imagine this offensive line, there's got to be some adjustments up front. They just cannot allow their quarterback to continue to be hit like this.
Here's Torrey Taylor now. He's on for the 2nd time. They'll try to get something inside the 10. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Steelers offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Rodgers. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very stout there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
And they got the look they were hoping for, one-on-one on the outside. He's just unable to hold on to it through contact, and I think that was a big opportunity missed.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. From the gun, Rodgers. This one grabbed by Austin. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
3rd down.
Third and a yard. They send Freiermuth, the tight end, in motion. On 3rd and 1, here's Rodgers. That is hot! And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
It's a gain of 37.
A big-time play for Pittsburgh. 37 yards.
1st and 10.
And they decide to bring pressure here on 3rd down, but he does a really nice job. Remains calm under pressure. He ends up delivering a strike downfield and keeps the drive alive.
Drop this down to Warren. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. 15-yard pickup there. Good for a Steeler first down.
A gain of 15. First down, Steelers.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
Here's Warren. And they'll have 1st and goal. He is down inside the 10-yard line.
11 more yards. That's another Steelers first down. First and goal.
And this
at the
offense just
8-yard line.
continues to chew up yards and get first down after first down. And defensively now, you find yourself a little bit on your heels. You're defending a goal-to-go situation. They need to step up here and get a stop.
Down to the goal line. No signal. Is he in? They'll say it did not break the play, but a real solid gain on first and goal. Second and goal. Here's a run with their tight end. Trying to find a crease in that mass of humanity, but he is going to come up short.
No gain on the play. Brings up third and goal.
Can the defense do it again? From the 1. Third down now, and goal. Warren, and he's so close to breaking the plane, but the official's going to come in and mark him short. So now it's fourth down.
It's now fourth.
How about
and goal.
this for a goal line stand, Mike? Your back's against a wall, back-to-back plays, you hold tight. They set themselves up here to defend a fourth and goal try.
The offense will stay out trying to get this final yard. It is fourth and goal. That is incomplete. The defense coming up big in the red zone. It's a turnover on down.
It's a turnover.
The Bears offense ready to take over possession of the football. They'll need to get something positive going right away here. Ball starts inside their own 1-yard line. The tight end, Komet, is on the move. On the ground, it's Swift. He did not want to go down there. Carrying tacklers, it's a gain of 9.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
On second down, it's a run with Swift. And he will have the first down. Not a huge run, but enough to move the chains.
It's possible they could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive on second down, knowing they had third and inches in their back pocket. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. Pick up the first down, extend the drive, see if you can go score.
2 minutes to go here till halftime. We'll come back to Soldier Field. Following this, they'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
They'll come up now for second down and 4. On the RPO, quick toss to Burton. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. Really nice job there by the quarterback. Getting
The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. The Bears will use one of their timeouts here, and they'll get together prior to the second down play. Moore going in motion. On second down, it's Williams. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Luther Burden, the intended target.
Brings up third down
And third down coming up.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
Connection made. It's Burden. The Steelers going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go until halftime.
It's fourth down.
On comes with the punter now, as he's on to punt for Chicago. The fair catch here, called for and made beyond the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting ready to go once more. And he's had things all his way in the first half. Those numbers are sensational. He looks to add to them with another drive here. A first down throw from Rodgers. That's caught right side. It's Freiermuth. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a first down.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode. And that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
Now Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their second. They'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go until halftime.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That
Oh, huge mistake late in the half. It is intercepted. And the Bears will have great field position as they take over at their own 45.
Mike, there's usually such a comfort level when the guy playing quarterback behind center is a veteran. They've seen a lot of ball. You can trust them to make good decisions. And then every once in a while, one just gets away. And that's just simply a bad ball, a bad mistake. And you're not going to get away with it at this level.
In motion, it's Odunze. Throwing on first down, it's Williams. That's out left and complete to Burden. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. That's a second charge timeout to Chicago as they stop it with 13 seconds to play in this opening half.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now a first and 10 from the 38-yard line. Here's Williams now to throw. Another one there for Burden. And he'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. Now here's a timeout. They're going to take it with 8 seconds remaining until the break.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
42-yard attempt.
Another one through the upright. He's 4 for 4 on the game. And the Bears cut the deficit down to 1.
It all comes back to the turnover, and that's why this is such a critical emphasis for all teams in these situations, Mike. So you're trying to steal some points before the half on offense, but now you end up giving the ball back to your opponent, giving them an opportunity to come away with some points of their own.
A clock showing 5 seconds remaining in this half as the kick's away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Rodgers on first down. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome into the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you on an abridged halftime report. Good competitive first half. This game kind of has a punch-counter-punch feel to it, as reflected on the scoreboard. Tight game going into the second half. Can either team pull away? To find out, let's go back to the stadium and our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you. This is still anyone's game here. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand as the second half is about to get underway. Certainly a tightly contested first half, and you'd expect more of that here in the second half. A one-point game as quarter 3 begins. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. Their lead is just a point as they begin it on this drive with 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Warren to start the drive. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
34-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. On play action, Rodgers. He's going to air one out for Metcalf. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
It's a gain of 32
That is a big-time play for the Steelers. 32 yards.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Both pre-snap and post-snap, this is about as well done as you can do at the quarterback position. Get in and out of the right call, identifying the holes along the back end, and then the throw. You can't put it in a better spot. I mean, that's just a big-time play.
He finds Austin with the ground. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
From the shotgun, it's A-Rod. That's over the middle and taken in by Freiermuth. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line.
That's good for
a gain of 11 on that one. That's a Steeler first down.
At the 15-yard line.
Again, it's Rodgers. Metcalf left side, he's got it. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
It's a gain of 8.
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play, winning his route versus man coverage or catching this pass, because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
On the ground, Gainwell. And the Steelers are going to be set up first and goal. Couldn't reach the plane, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass. You can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
Trying to push the pile forward, but he's not going to get in. They stop him up short.
It's a loss of 1.
I give that defense all the credit in the world there, Mike. And offensively, you find yourself first and goal from the 1. You have to find a way to get that last yard and put the ball in the end zone. There's no excuses to miss a touchdown here.
Here's Rodgers. A throw there on second down, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, and I think that's a really smart decision. You certainly don't want to take a sack in any goal-to-go situation, or even worse, throw a pick. So understanding he still has 2 more shots at the end zone, I really like that decision.
From the 2-yard line yet again, what can they do on third and goal? Rodgers now. And that is incomplete.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
The offense staying put. 4th and goal from the 2. This part to the goal line and in. Pat Fryermuth. Touchdown, Steelers. On for the extra point is Boswell. He's got it. And the Steelers are going to open up the lead to 8.
Steelers 20, Bears 12.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Duvernay on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Bears offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. The deficit is 8 as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. Yeah. He'll take this ahead. It's a pickup of 3. Joey Porter Jr. that time up to make the play.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
Throwing on second down. Williams. That one out of the reach of the receiver's outstretched arms. It is incomplete. Rome Odunze, the one he was looking for.
On the coverage.
And it's going to be 3rd down. Here's Williams. They'll try to set up the screen here to Swift. That one way too slow in developing. They rally to the ball, they get the man, and it's no gain.
A loss of a yard.
That's just one of those drives that was out of whack from the start, Mike. They just couldn't get anything going on the early downs, and they'll most likely punt the ball away and hope that their defense can do the same thing and get them the ball back.
The Bears send out their punt team,
for the Bears.
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. To return is Williams. And how about that? Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. The advantage is 8. We'll see if they can make this a 2-score game on this drive. First down and 10. They'll start this on the ground with Warren. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
The Steelers first down.
Well, that's how you get a drive started. A big play here in the run game, and you have to imagine this is something we're going to continue to see. Success early in the drive typically results in success later in the drive.
A-Rod now to throw on first down.
The drag route. We used to say this is day one install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 4. They put Wilson in motion. Off the play fake, Rodgers. The pressure, too much, and he goes down. Montez Sweat that time, fights his way in to record the sack.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
They're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
It's one of those balls where the quarterback wishes there was a string. The second it came out of his hand, he wished he could just pull it back, because from the moment it left his hand, that looked like a sure interception. And the only reason it wasn't because the defender just flat out dropped it.
A 56-yard attempt.
3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Steelers will extend their 3rd quarter lead.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
Back out is Boswell following the field goal. He'll send this one away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. DeAndre Swift and the Bears offense set for their next possession. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Williams. Loveland open right side. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down at the 37. That one good for a dozen. And a very quick first down.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
On first down, it's Swift. He is tough to bring down. They finally do. Somehow he manages to get back to the line of scrimmage.
This play right here is just a clear example of just how hard it is to bring this back down, Mike. I mean, he had to break multiple tackles just to get back to the original line of scrimmage. But give credit to the defense. They kept bringing bodies at him, and they're eventually able to get him down for no gain.
Williams to throw on second down. Into space at the 45. And he is out of bounds. Good-looking screenplay there. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
Not much there. Maybe a yard.
At the 50-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second and 9. They'll go play action here with Williams. That's complete. Some more on the right side. A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Bears first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and 2.
So, from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 2. On the give, it is Monunga. And he's going to be close to a first down. Looks like he'll have just enough to keep the chains moving.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run game. Third and short, fourth and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and to say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
And he's going to be bottled up quickly after a gain of about 1. That's Alex Highsmith in for the tackle.
Yard gain. Brings up second and 9.
From the 22 now, here's second and 9. They'll run out of the gun. It is Swift. He'll try to get back to the line, but he's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
How would you like to be this running back here? You get the ball, you're thinking, all right, get through the line, and next thing you know, the big old D tackle's just waiting for you there in the hole. Nowhere for you to go as he takes you down for a loss.
On third down, it's Williams. To the right side, caught by Burton. And he will easily pick up the first down. They've got first and goal coming up.
That's another Bears first down. First and goal at the 9-yard line.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first down anyway.
He pulls it in around the 5. And he's going to be stopped at about the 4. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Inside the 5, it is second and goal. Swift. This defense backed up. But they bring the fire there. Stop him before he can get past the 3-yard line.
No gain on the play.
So on second down, they try to hammer it in on the ground, Mike, but now on 3rd and goal, I don't think you have any choice but to put this ball in your quarterback's hands and test this defense through the air.
We'll try and throw. Here's Williams. He puts it up, and it's caught. Gxlden. Touchdown, Bears. Greg, sometimes we say it too often. That was an important drive. That one really felt important for them to edge a little bit closer.
Yeah, now the question is, Mike, yeah, the offense does their job, but can the defense get a stop? They've got to continue to get the ball back to their offense. Let them build on that previous drive because they've still got some work to do.
Williams now going to bring up the Bears, and they will go for 2.
The Bears will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll try to pick this up with a run. And he'll get in for the 2-point conversion. And now the deficit is just a field goal.
Not a real complicated breakdown needed here, Mike. In short yardage situations like that, if you have confidence in both your back and your offensive line, sometimes it's the simplest plays that have the best results.
So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. On the return, it's Kenneth Gainwell. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense and their running back, Jaylen Warren, set to take over once more. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Carry here for Warren. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 25-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground with Warren. It's a pickup of about 3 to the 28-yard line.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
This is 3rd and 6. From the gun, Rodgers. He'll air it out deep for Wilson. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
Out comes Caleb Williams and the rest of this Bears offense. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. The tight end, Komet, is on the move. Here's Williams on 1st and 10. Throw on the run is complete. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. 18 yards. What a great way to start the drive. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Nice way to start the drive here. Really good protection by the guys up front. Good decision by the quarterback to find his read. Ball's accurate, ball's on time. Now they're able to start this drive and get on the move the right way.
And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards.
Tackle made at his 48-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
From the 48-yard line, here's second and 6. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a first down.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup.
At the 26, a 3-yard pickup brings up second and 7.
Second and 7. Manunga gonna get it again. And they'll have first and goal. He is down inside the 10-yard line.
A gain of 17
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
Ball resting on the 9. First down and goal. Here's a run. He'll get a yard or 2 to the 8. Second and goal.
Benton on the tackle. A pickup of 2 brings up second and goal at the 8-yard line.
Here now, second down and goal. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. He's got it at the 3. And he'll take it on in. Cole Kmet, touchdown Chicago. Now Cairo Santos to add the point after. He knocks it through. And the Bears have taken a 4-point advantage.
Steelers 23.
So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Williams now to return. He'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
So first and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. On first and 10, it's Warren. And And we brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter.
At the 25-yard line. It's a pickup.
So back and forth they go as we are through three. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the 25, here's 2nd and 7. Fourth quarter begins on the ground. And he'll get about 5 past the 30-yard line.
At this point, we're going to need two hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
Here we go. 3rd and a yard. They'll run the sneak. That's going to be pretty close. Looked at first glance that he had it in. He does. First down.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here, Mike. He did a nice job picking up that first down. But this play is won or lost by the big guys up front. They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time, get leverage on the defender, and create the space needed for the quarterback to pick up the first down.
And he surges forward for a gain of about 5.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 4. To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, Metcalf has it. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. 13 yards on that pass play. Good for a Steeler first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
Pittsburgh.
Rodgers. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the fight, and it's 2nd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete.
We've already seen these two guys connect for a touchdown in this game, and had they been on the same page there, I think they would have been able to add to that total. Unfortunately for them, just a little bit off, and it falls incomplete.
Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. To the air once more, it's Rodgers. A throw left side, taken in by Wilson. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
That's good for a Steelers first down. 1st and 10.
And how about the poise of this quarterback? You find yourself down here late in the 4th quarter, Mike, facing a tough 3rd down. You've got to have it. You know what? He calls the play, he breaks the huddle. He's like, you know what, coach? I got it. That's a big-time throw to now keep this drive alive as they go down looking for that go-ahead touchdown.
And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Looking to throw, it's Rodgers. That is brought in at the 10. And he's going to be marked out of bounds down at the 3. He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
That's a really important pickup there on that last completion. Not only does it set up first and goal, but allows everybody in the huddle to just take a deep breath. We're no longer in this frantic offensive possession. Let's get our best play.
Good blocking, and he's in. Jalen Warren, touchdown Pittsburgh. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that fourth quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
Now this, an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. The kick is good. And the Steelers go up by a field goal as they lead it by 3. So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown, trying to kick it back the other way. Duvernay on the return. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. Out comes Caleb Williams and the rest of this Bears offense. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 8. On the ground, here is Manunga. And not much there. Good defense, held to no gain.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 7.
What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? From the shotgun, it's Williams. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And it looks like he's going to have the first down. What great work after the catch to extend the drive.
Critical 3rd down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the 4th quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
Quick slant, caught by Burton. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line.
A gain of 12 yards.
A pickup of 12 yards. First down, Chicago.
Really nice timing on that slant route. You can tell the quarterback and the wide receiver are completely on the same page, and when executed at that level, it's virtually impossible to stop.
They're going to run it here with Manunga. And his momentum completely stopped there. Picked up, thrown down for a loss.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Williams. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Alex Highsmith getting through there to drop him for a loss of 6.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
They need one right now. 3rd and long. Williams. They'll look to set up the screen here. And they were hoping for a little more on that one. Brought down well short of the first. It'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
The Bears sending out their punt team. They forced a punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. So that one going to land out of bounds, and the official's going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. The Steelers offense ready to take over once more. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. They send Freiermuth, the tight end, in motion. 1st down for Aaron. There's a short one caught by Freiermuth. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Just take what the defense is giving you, and you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game. Now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
Here's Gainwell, and he's going to get the 1st down. He is up past the 35-yard line.
A 7-yard gain. And the Steelers 1st down.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. 2nd and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
Here's a handoff to Warren. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. 22 yards, the pickup there. That's a Steeler 1st down.
1st down. A gain of 22 yards. 1st down, Steelers.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead, you're in the 4th quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
Play fake. It's Rodgers. He'll dump this out wide to Gainwell. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 7. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. That'll be taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. That is incomplete. Throw took him out of bounds, and it will be 3rd down.
This is a great example of why these outbreaking routes towards the sidelines are so critical to have great timing and rhythm between the receiver and the quarterback. In this case, he just can't quite keep his feet in bounds. Great effort to secure the catch, but it's going to result in an incomplete.
17 yards on that connection. Good for a Steeler 1st down.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on, Mike. They call it 4-minute offense, and you don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock. But the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the 4th quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that 3rd down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up 1st downs. If they do that, I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
From the 20, here's 2nd and 8. The shotgun, it's A-Rod. There's that man again. Another catch. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Calvin Austin. Touchdown, Steelers. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Steelers will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Duvernay on the return. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They'll begin with 1st and 10. They'll put Loveland in motion. Run now for Manunga. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
On second down, it's Williams. That's a short throw caught by Komet, and that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark, just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here late.
And on this first down, it's Johnson. Nice job finding the seam. Gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that first down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 1. They'll run with Manunga. And their woes in the running game continue. He's going to be taken down behind the line.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
Down the field, but it falls incomplete.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down. It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
The tight end, Komet, is on the move. Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. Got the hook up there to Odunze. And he'll indeed pick up a Bears first down as they get the conversion with a gain of 14.
And the Bears.
Some teams just have a stronger appetite for being willing to go for 4th down tries, even on their side of the field, Mike, and we're seeing it so much more often. The days of just punting the ball back and forth and saying, hey, we're going to play good defense. Remember, the better your defense, that doesn't mean you should punt. The better your defense, the more chances you should take on offense. This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
A throw on the move is caught, and he takes it down to the 15-yard line. 18 yards on the connection. Good for a Bears first down.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Williams to the air once more. Over the middle, that's Komet. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
That's hauled in at the 2. And he's out of bounds with the first down. So they get a new set of downs. And just as importantly, stop the clock.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point. And now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that.
That is caught in the middle of the end zone. Holston Loveland. Touchdown, Bears.
Well, that was step 1. The offense did their job, get this thing back within 1 possession, so they're still alive. But now they've got to find a way to get a little bit of luck and find a way to get the ball back, and it's not going to be easy.
Santos for the extra point. The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3. A field goal here in the fourth quarter. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Here's Gainwell to return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Steelers offense and their running back, Jaylen Warren, set to take over once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. On the ground, Gainwell. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Whistles here and a timeout. Defense going to take this one with 1:51 to go.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground. Like, there was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Warren. That's a second charge timeout to Chicago. Talk things over before 3rd down.
And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike. And they came into the game saying, we want to impose our will on the defense. And that's exactly what they've been able to do.
This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Oh, do you believe it? It's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. Edwards. Now, after the interception, we have an injured player to look at. That is a worrisome development here late in the game. Here is 1st and 10. Johnson. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Now, on 2nd and long. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. That's into the hands of Olamide Zaccheaus. And that'll go for a gain of 7. And it's going to set up 3rd down.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete.
I can't tell you, Mike, how many of these offensive skill players around the league, they look at man coverage as like a personal offense. After that last completion on the way back to the huddle, I think he had a few choice words for him. I think he said, hey, man, you can't guard me one-on-one. You better ask your coach for some help, because if he doesn't, you're going to be in for a long day.
Right side, caught by Burton. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15. The Bears go ahead, take their 3rd and final timeout, and they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Pressure time, no timeouts to stop the clock as they get set here for a big 1st down. Throwing again, Williams. And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete.
Out of the end zone.
A great pass rush is like a closer in baseball. When you bring them into the game, it's all but over. That's exactly the case here. It doesn't result necessarily in a sack, but it was the hit that altered the throw just enough to end that play before it started.
They'll stick to the ground. And he's going to be close to the 1st down. Welcome just a yard short of the line to gain, so that'll bring up 3rd and short yardage. So now the Brazilian-born Cairo Santos in a big spot. This to potentially send us to overtime. So, a big one coming for their veteran kicker. This one he's got to have. This one is on target, and it is good. They have tied things up here in the final minute.
And that's just a big-time kick right there. I mean, think about all the things running through this kicker's head. He knows if he misses it, this game's over. But he's cool. He's calm. He steps up, takes a deep breath, and he knocks it through to extend this game.
So, not much time remaining to get something started. All tied here, late 4th as the kickoff comes. And he will sit on it here in the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
This is 1st and 10. From the gun, Rodgers. Catch made, right side by Wilson. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
At the 40-yard line.
4 quarters could not determine a winner. We get back underway here in overtime. Duvernay on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Bears offense headed back to take over once more. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. This one intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Echols.
You know, Mike, it's not often that you could say one individual player may have won his team the game, but I think this might be one of those circumstances. It's the first play of overtime, and there he is, putting his teammates on his back, picking off that pass. Now, thanks to his effort, they just got to knock this one through the goalposts, and it's all over.
Now a first throw here in overtime. That one too far out in front to be brought in. And it's incomplete.
Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
2nd and 10. Rodgers. Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete.
Certainly not one of his better throws, but what I've loved out of this quarterback today, Mike, was just how aggressive he's remained throughout the entire course of the game. Continue to push the ball downfield. Even if it falls incomplete, it opens up everything else in this passing game, and they've had their way so far today.
On 3rd down, Rodgers. That'll be caught. It's Metcalf. A gain there of 15. That's a Steeler first down.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
This one intercepted. And the Bears are going to have it with a chance to win this game here in overtime.
So you find yourself entering the red zone. Mike, it's hard to not start envisioning scoring a touchdown. Well, that interception, it changes everything. This is a huge missed opportunity. You have to capitalize and find a way to hang 6 on the defense.
They'll put Loveland in motion. Williams going to look to throw it on 1st down. He'll get this out to his running back. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 12-yard line.
They face 2nd down and 7. They'll put Loveland in motion. Handoff here, up the middle.
The ball carrier. Tackle made at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
It's 3rd and 4. On the handoff, it's Johnson. And he is going to have a Bears first down by a couple of yards, able to convert on that 3rd and 3.
And the ability to continue to sustain these drives and maintain possession, these third downs are so critical, Mike, because every time an offensive play caller gets a fresh set of downs to work with, there's just more opportunities to continue to try to strike deep and go to score.
And that keeps them ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 29-yard line.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 3. On the give, it is Manunga. And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Chicago.
First down.
When the offense broke the huddle in a line, Mike, I think everybody in the stadium knew this was going to be a run, but the offense is kind of saying, okay, line up. I dare you to try to stop us, and right now this defense has no answers.
This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
And a nice run there as he surges forward. A gain of 8 and sets up 3rd down.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
Try to pick this one up on the ground. This will not do the trick. They've stopped it behind the line. 4th down coming up.
Well, what looked like an advantage for the offense, Mike, facing 2nd and short now, has turned into a win for the defense. Back-to-back stops for a loss, and it brings up 4th down.
We're about ready now for the punt, and he's on for a big one here in overtime. And now, will you look at this? It's a fake. Oh, he's got a man, and he caught it. And they will finally bring him down, but what a call there. The fake works, big yardage, and the first down.
They pulled out all the stops on that fake, Mike, and it's one thing to call that in practice. But then to have the guts to call that and execute it in a real game, I mean, that takes some real confidence, and it worked out to perfection, and just an incredible play all around.
And he gave one man the slip, and going to take this one forward. A pick up a 3.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 24 now, here is 2nd down and 7. Now give on the ground, and he'll pick his way forward. A gain of about 5. And that's going to set up 3rd down.
Junior on the tackle. That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Now Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their 2nd. Talk things over before 3rd down. So now the Brazilian-born Cairo Santos in a big spot. This one to win it in overtime. This kick is good. He got it. It took overtime, but they will walk off the field with the victory.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
So this one in the win column for the Bears. This was a close-fought game. They were able to get themselves into field goal range here at OT. The final kick sailed through the uprights to finally close out this victory. So that'll do it for us. For Gxlden and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from along the lakefront at Soldier Field in Chicago.